Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud.
And Famous Dave.
And this is the Challenge USA, episode 6 and episode 7. Dave, we haven't been talking about this season at all so far, and now it's here. Real quick, actually, oh my gosh, we're on time. We're on the clock right now.
I know, we got 40 minutes.
Yeah, 40 minutes, 2 episodes. Let's cut out the getting to know each other and our feelings about the season, so far. Let's just get right into it, right? Okay, so the perfect algorithm that TJ kept on saying pairs Angela with Dominic again. Do you remember this?
Yeah. So has they gone through all the partners? Because it didn't seem like they went through 3 episodes, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Yeah, we're sorry." I don't know.
Exactly. It's not right. Yeah, Dominic could have. They could have been paired up with other people. It's just this is where the producers showed their hand, and they're like, "No, the algorithm's bullshit." We just we just want people, juicy storylines by putting. It's a brilliant device, but it would have been better if it was real. Like, really give us that mathematical algorithm and let it play out that way. But the producers couldn't help themselves.
That makes sense because, what happens where Tyson takes a shot at Sarah and sends Sarah in, and then what happens the next episode? He gets partnered with a girl who can't swim at all and is, a terrible girl partner, and then he has to do everything on his own, basically.
Yeah, but it's all rigged, man. I will say, plus spoilers in episode 7, TJ's like, you know what? I'm sick of the algorithm.
Yeah.
Remember that? At the very end of the episode, he's like, we're not even going to continue that anymore. It's like,
because they're probably just going to go solo, I guess. I mean, seems logical. I don't know. I doubt they would do big teams. I don't know. I hope they go to solo because I hope this season stretches out. I don't know how many episodes it's supposed to be, but the next challenge season is not probably going to come out until winter probably. So at least that's what the rumors are. I don't know if there's any updates on that, but I want the season to be stretched out another 7-8 episodes.
Yeah, I guess I haven't really thought about that. I just assumed it was going to be not like All Stars. All Stars is considered a mini series or a spin-off, not official. I felt that they were treating this like an official season, but it might be close to the end. They might just have 3 more episodes left then.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I think it has to be 14 or 15 episodes in the season. We should be at the halfway point, but I don't know. Who knows?
Okay, let's get into the mission of episode 6. It's so weird going back. We're like, oh, who cares? But, it's fine. If this one's called Containment, this is where you jump in the water and you climb onto those shipping containers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those giant rectangular things. You learn symbols on the way, and you swing, and then you jump down, and then you got to do this math problem. My big thing, since we haven't been talking this entire time about the season, mine is why is there puzzles in every single mission now? The way I saw it was it's not an equalizer if you have CT there or Car Maria. Those are the puzzle gods,
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to beat them. So and I said it like this, it's okay, say you have swimming in every mission. Well, why don't you just give it to Wes right away? The whole season, Wes is just going to dominate. Or if it's an eating thing, Tyler or Tony. If every mission involved eating, that's extremely not fair, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about all these things having a puzzle in it. And I throw math in there with puzzles.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Because to me, I'm just they're just doing math with everything. I'm except for the trivia challenge, everything, you have numbers, you have to add this, subtract this, or you have to put in a secret code. And it's just just make it a race and whoever crosses the finish line first does it. I don't know. Like at first, I was like, just like give them an obstacle course, and whoever has the fastest time wins. But like,
Yeah.
no, you have to do the obstacle course, and then you come down and you have to see if you put your puzzle pieces together properly. If you counted all the symbols on the containers to get like the code, and then they pull down the lever as if they're unlocking something, but it's just like a prop piece. It doesn't unlock anything. Then they look over at TJ and hope he blows the horn.
Well, okay, so all of that, right? People can lose by a fraction of a second when Leo, they put their math together and then he grabs onto the latch, right? But then he reaches his hand out. He's like, for luck. And her partner's like, okay, grabs the sand, then he pulls it. I would like slap Leo, like, pull the fucking lever. I would have been so angry with him. And that's just Leo in a nutshell. Like, I think even in this next episode, Leo is frustrating, but he doesn't give up. He's scrappy. He's scrappy dude. Annoying.
Oh, he is. Yeah, the thing is about Leo is I like him so much, but at the same time, everything he does like annoys me. He's like, I don't have a little brother, but it's what I imagine a little brother would be like, where you're like, you like them, but like everything they do, you're just like, why would you do it that way? Like that's not the right thing to do. Like, don't do that. You have younger brothers, so I'm sure you probably know that feeling.
Yeah, for sure. That's hilarious. And yeah, I do realize now that I was gonna say you're a single kid, you're a only child, but you're not. You have two older sisters, right?
Yeah, I'm the baby boy.
Yeah, well, guess what, Dave? They were probably like, Dave, why do you do that way? You fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like,
you're saying I'm their Leo? I'm Leo.
Yeah. Everyone's actually not me. I am the oldest, so I was never a Leo to anyone except maybe my parents. They're like,
yeah, your parents.
Our son's a fucking Leo. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm a Libra. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Go outside and play. I do have David and Desi win. David from Big Brother and Desi from Survivor. I just gotta say this now that she's being mentioned at all. Not enough Desi for me. She's like I find her really attractive, but like she's barely around. She's not given any screen time. It's crazy.
I felt that way about David as well. There's certain people that you just don't get a whole
very
lot
attractive, but not enough screen time.
Exactly.
Just because his name is David as well. Oh my gosh, you egomaniacal monster.
I got a thing for Dave.
Enzo and Justine get last place because Enzo doesn't swing. Remember that?
Enzo doesn't do a lot of things well. Like Enzo looks like he's never gone for anything more than like a fast walk in his life. Like watching him run, he's like a baby deer trying to run. He's like, oh yeah, this is exercise. Yeah. I don't know, but it's weird because like Enzo, if you look at him, it's like his arms are muscular. He looks like he's strong, but he's so unathletic in every way. It's just I don't know. It's like a tongue twister, but for the brain. It's a mind bender. Looking at him, and you're like, he is so bad at everything.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Justine. Justine though is going to, I keep wanting to cut through all the episodes just to cover it so quickly. But like Justine's is gonna go 3-0 in eliminations this season. Like Justine's awesome. In fact, Justine has slowly won me over. She's kind of cute. And she's also given a lot of screen time, unlike Desi. So I'm torn right now, Dave. I'm like, do I go for Desi, who is hot but we never talk, or this cute Justine girl who I could have conversations with? But I'm like,
Yeah, I think you want to go with the mystery here. Less is more. Go with Desi.
All right. Next, I have Sarah and Ben going. I think Sarah misses the piece, and it's not Ben's fault. To me, Sarah, she's the cop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe she didn't have to tell me she was a cop. but something about her just rubs me the wrong way. And the fact that she's a cop, I just want to throw out cop jokes and stuff like that, you know?
Oh
But
yeah, for sure. Well, she missed the obvious clue. It was the first thing in the room. There was, the murder weapon was right on the floor, but she missed it. Oh.
and then and then, and then TJ should have been like, "Oh, you missed that symbol. I actually got to take away cash out of your account. Call it a defunding." And Sarah's like, "No, that's not what it means. It means I have to take more classes and be, taught to remember to see those symbols." And I don't know. Okay, moving on. Kyland and Cachet. Okay, this little thing stuck out to me. I know we shouldn't be getting to the minor details because we only have so much time. But Kyland is like, okay, I could throw you in. He's just being playful or whatever. And Cachet is like, don't throw me in. Don't ever touch me. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I can't stand her. Oh my gosh. And also her interaction with, was it David? Is her ex?
No, Cinca.
Yeah. Okay. And she's like, I know that we're not a thing anymore and you're free to do what you want, but I don't like it when you talk to other girls. I was like, okay, shut up. That is not how that works. If you're broken up, he can talk to whoever he wants. You can't blame him for your jealousy. All right.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's annoying. Shannon hurts her hamstring and she tells everyone, which, it's not a good idea, right?
Yeah, she's not that bright.
Okay, and then I have Danny, who, this is all I say about him. Danny is nothing but his wife. That's all he talks about. He mentions his wife in every fucking episode. Everything he does ties into her. In this instance, he's like, well, I don't think I would have been able to jump, but me and my wife Kiki went to Jamaica and she jumped off a cliff, so I had to. So, in fact, that was practice for this. And I'm like, dude, why? One episode, you don't have to bring up your fucking wife. Kiki must be amazing, by the way, right?
I bet she is. I don't know who she is. Danny is my favorite. He's the most likable guy. But you bring up a great point because he's just a dad on a sitcom, like a 90s sitcom. He's like the step-by-step dad or maybe like the dad from Modern Family. He's just the most likable, nice guy. He's not weird or goofy or anything, but he's super likable. He loves his wife so much, and he's just happy to be there. And he's like,
yeah. All I'm saying is I need to either know this wife or get a wife like Kiki. Holy shit! I want to be talking about my wife constantly, where people are like, "Dude, get a fucking hobby."
No.
Like, oh, sorry.
Everybody's got that coworker though that constantly just like, oh, my boyfriend this or my boyfriend that or my husband this, my husband that. And you're just like, all right, shut up. I don't care anymore. Every story starts with that, and that's probably who Danny is.
He's like, my favorite quote from Borat? My wife. Yeah. Anyways, Kyra. Okay, this sucks. Kyra is sick. She's with Tyson, right? And she tries to do the swing, but she falls. And, she could try it again, but she's like, I can't do it, And Kyra's been sick this entire time, apparently. Yeah.
She got the COVID? Or what's going on?
I don't know, but she's been talking about this for a couple episodes now.
Yeah.
I just want to know, what is she sick from? Is it not contagious? Especially in a pandemic, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then poor Frank, they got rid of Frank when they realized he was sick. Remember that in Free Agents?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It was a goddamn shakedown, everybody.
We got to get him out of here. Yeah. It's if she is vomiting or diarrhea, that can be very contagious. Whatever bacteria or virus she has, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think does she get eliminated this episode or soon, right? Yeah, something like that.
Very soon.
Enzo doesn't swing. Oh, we already wrote that. Justine did try. She almost made it, but then they were like, Enzo, you have to go first. And TJ's like, come on, this is child's play. Which is it, TJ? Is this like the most demanding sport ever, or is it child's play? Like, TJ, damn it. He just plays it on both sides. Have you noticed that he's trying to be super positive this season? Like, he's just randomly throwing out compliments. And it's like, come on, TJ.
Well, yeah, because it's like he doesn't know any of these people, so it's like everything's like a first impression. Every episode, he's like trying to give a good first impression.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I am slightly annoyed because last season, was it an All-Stars? They just had to go to the final, you know? The final episode was the final. But this season, we're back to TJ's final, you know? If you want to go to my final. And it's just, okay, shut up, TJ. Like, I thought we were past that. I thought they stopped doing that, but it's like, no, it's here to stay.
I thought we were past a lot of bullshit from the old challenges with All-Stars because it was so good, and especially with this because it was different, you know, with the algorithm. But no, that's bullshit. It's just more producing bullshit that's on here. But one more thing about TJ, which is super fucking annoying. So when Leo jumps, he lands in the water and then swims, right? But when he jumps, TJ starts laughing maniacally like he does during the fucking trivia. And he's like, and he's sticking out his tongue and shit like that. He says, man, that was the worst jump.
Is that because he was like running towards the edge and stopping and like talking about his PTSD? With him?
No, it's when he gets his key and he falls into the water, just like what you're supposed to. Everyone does it. But TJ is laughing his stupid trivia laugh. It's very specifically his trivia laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Because he likes things to fall into the water. It's simple.
Do you think TJ actually laughed there, or did the producers they just have that and they just like dub it in over it, and like, and they just put it in the episode of like, we need more TJ laughter. Gotta hit our quota.
Let's get into the winner. Oh yeah, David and Desi, right? Okay, so we're gonna get into the deliberation now. We haven't talked this whole time, but I think this is the most pointless segment in the show is when the winners talk to the losers. They're in front of that grid, right? But like in the past, the losers would never get a say, and they're not given a say, really. It's the winners get to decide who they want to throw in regardless, right? Why even set aside this time? A lot of the times, a winner is going to just send in whoever they want. They might not ever talk to the losers. But for some reason, the producer's like, no, let's have it be this thing. But it's pointless. I think it was shown in this one and the other one where I think it was Cinco. He's like, I'm not going to say a name, not a single name.
Exactly.
And and so that whole meeting was pointless. The whole segment needs to go.
Yeah, there was, I forget what girl it was, but it was the same thing. She's like, it's like a game of chicken. They want us to say a name, but we're not going to say anybody. So we'll just sit here awkwardly. It's like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense because generally the team who's going to throw somebody in, like, there are situations where earlier in the season where you're like, well, we don't have any enemies. Who do you want to go against? And we'll just go with that. But as the season goes on, you know where the battle lines are. You know who the alliances are, who you're friends with, who you're not. Like, you're not going to necessarily talk with that team. You could just be going and talking to your friends, you know? Like other people in your alliance, and make sure that people in your alliance are also on the same page.
All right, let's move on to a little thing about, I think, Desi and, I don't know, there's talk about putting Tyson in, right?
Yeah.
And he says, I wouldn't mind sacrificing my whole game for spite. That is the opposite of his opening speech. Remember, he came back and he's like, hey, if you put me in, it's not personal. It's a game. You know, we're all here to get money, you know. Do what you have to do. Remember, he was saying,
That's right.
got on the soapbox and he was saying that stuff.
That.
But in reality, when he's confessing, he's like, I will throw, I don't give a shit. I don't have to win. I just need revenge. And that is the theme of the season. All these 4 different alliances are really just turning on themselves because of past wrongdoings, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Like no one escapes that lust for revenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? Who's probably not in lust for revenge, but in love with his wife?
Danny.
All right, let's get into the elimination of the night. Spelling Ebe. Where you have to, what was it? Derek and what the fuck? Derek and Shannon versus Enzo and Justine. Oh, okay. So right here, more personal things. Danny is Big Brother, right?
No,
And
Danny's
so
Survivor.
No, Derek. I mean, sorry.
Oh,
Derek
okay.
is Big Brother, and he got thrown in by David, who was also Big Brother. Again, it's just like personal. Why do that, right? It's just less numbers for you, David. Yeah. So what you have to do is you have to stack tires, but before you do that, you have to spell a thing backwards. Now, what do you think about this?
Is this the dumbest thing? Like, I don't know. We've seen some dumb stuff.
Even trivia is in every elimination as well. It's fucked up.
Yeah, I don't understand like the whole spelling thing. I'm like, the fact that you did it, like, that's unfortunate, but the fact that you didn't edit it out, like, why are we even watching this? I get that was an idea, but like upon watching it back, you're just like, no, this was dumb. Let's just edit that part out. You could have easily edited it out. We wouldn't have known.
I would have noticed 5 tires missing from the other pile, right?
Nobody would have noticed.
Enzo's asked to spell dredge backwards, which I think is pretty difficult compared to goggles, compared to shovel. But I think the hardest one was cynical. Justine was given cynical. I mean, goggles is easy. I don't know. I feel like shovel's easy, but dredge and cynical were just a little bit harder. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Or am I being cynical, Dave? Huh? Okay, so I'm just gonna say it. Enzo and Justine beat Derek and Shannon, and when Derek's leaving, he's like, "I'm gonna miss Alyssa, my partner in crime." He's like, "I'm just glad we were able to get Xavier out of there." Again, revenge is what is in the bloodstream for all these cast members. It's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like Derek. He didn't get enough screen time, but like the little he did, I liked him. But the guy doesn't know how to stack tires for shit. Like,
oh right,
every stack of tires you put, there's one, and then there's another, and then the third one is just like over here, and it's just like leaning off the side, and you're like, dude, just stack them up straight. And then by the time he adds another 5 or 6 on top of it, it starts tipping over. It's like, no shit, like, and he just seemed like surprised every time they're falling down. I was like, I don't know. It was super frustrating. It was kind of a stupid thing, I thought, to just be stacking the tires, especially when like the elimination before, where they had to go into like the dark room and they had to like try and like memorize the stack of puzzle pieces and try and measure them with their fingers. I thought that was really cool. And then this with the tires, I'm like, this is stupid. I hated it.
But Enzo, he's like, I'm an insurance adjuster and a tire adjuster, because he's
right in my wheelhouse.
Where the rubber meets the road. Rubber match if I lose the next one. I don't know. But like, he's the one that decides to make this intricate sort of pile. Yeah, I never would have thought of that. I probably would have been like Derek. I probably would have stacked them like Oreos and they would topple over. Yeah. Well, that's the end of that. How much time do we have, Dave? We're running on, what do we got?
I don't know. It doesn't even tell me now.
Oh my God. Oh no, this is terrifying.
Now that I'm
Oh, shit.
recording, the spot where it was telling me the time left doesn't even say. So
Okay. Well, yeah, we're running on a 40-minute. All of a sudden, Zoom decides to be fucking tyrants.
I think it gives me a
And
10-minute warning. Last time I gave a 10
yeah.
minute warning, so we should
Oh
know.
my gosh. Okay, but we got to move on to episode 7. Do you want to take a small break, or we don't have the time?
I don't care. That's fine.
Okay. No, I could go. I'm just
I'm good.
asking for you. All right. Let's move on to episode 7. The algorithm. Tyson gets put with Sarah, and Tyson's like, well, as long as she's not full of frothy rage, I should be okay because we're paired together,
Mm-hmm.
unless she wants to go in, which is going to be the case, right? She's like, I want to go in and make Tyson sweat and stuff like that. Yeah. All right. So apparently right now there's a 3-headed monster all of a sudden. Tyson, Angela, and now Kyland. They're in an alliance. I didn't know they were that close, but that's cool. Kyland's like brand new to it, but I think it's just because he's been also winning everything as well. Like,
Yeah,
those
he was
three.
really good in his elimination. And that was like the first episode or something like that.
Yeah. Leo, though, he's talking to his girlfriend, right? His girlfriend's like, your workers don't know how to run your fucking credit cards, you piece of shit. Like, leave, come over here.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, well, should I pack up? And he's like, oh, no, you stay there, your highness. Stay on TV. Don't worry. It's your workers. We're broke over here.
Yeah. Everybody's pissed off at you because you're not here. They don't know how to work the credit card machine. What are we supposed to do? And it was just like, first, like, I hope Leo, like, I get if he needs to go home and take care of his business, if you're losing $40,000 because you put your dipshit girlfriend in charge of it while you were gone. Like, you think he might have, like, hey, I'm going to take my most valued employee and, like, make sure he knows what he's doing, put him in charge of it. It seems like a logical thing to do, but, like, I hope he dumps that girl. Like, don't get married to her. Don't give her half your business. Just get rid of her. The disrespect she was talking to him with, I did not appreciate it. Leo is a hero.
Well, I mean,
he's a nice guy. He's my little brother, damn it.
I mean, I made up a lot of those words. I was just kind of giving her way more of a attitude and more New York sort of flavor. But she did come off just like, I'm over here, and your coworker, your business is in shambles. You get over here, Now, part of me though, I don't know Leo at all. He's from Amazing Race, but Leo is oddly
10-minute
watchable,
warning.
as annoying as he is. What?
10-minute warning, sorry.
Jesus Christ! All right, you know what? Skipping that. Let's go forward.
Yeah, Leo's gonna bitch for a girlfriend. All right.
Well, he wanted to leave. He packed up, and then what's her name? Melissa was like, "No, you're staying here."
Alyssa's very persuasive.
Yeah, sure she is. Sure she would. That's Dave's little reality crush for this season. Recreational driving. This mission is awesome. There's no puzzle in this at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically Mario Kart, the battle portion, not the racing, but the battle, right?
Yeah. Yep.
You got like 3 balloons, but like 5 balloons on your car, and you got to crash them, pop them. Except you're blindfolded. Your passenger has to be your eyes, right?
Yep.
Now, okay, so did you notice this? How none of the women were the drivers?
No, I didn't notice that.
Every man was like, listen, honey, women can't be trusted to drive erratically and bump into things. I'm going to do it. A man. When in
I
reality,
have a great sense of direction with my eyes closed.
feel like men would, they always say like, oh, women can't drive. They'll run into cars. Well, this is the one scenario where that has to happen. Why? God, it was the most bizarre thing. I would have let my female partner drive just to, take a stance, Dave.
Yeah, I don't want to have the blindfold. I can always blame it on the person who's blindfolded and be like, I told you, you didn't listen,
Yeah, exactly, man. Um, oh God.
It was
All right,
great
so I wrote
watching
it
the
down
cars
again.
crash and stuff. That was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah,
Um,
it was cool. I don't
well,
have a lot written down.
the thing I didn't like was once they got towards like 5 cars left, then all of a sudden they like hit like a barrel and it's like, oh, the car is broken and it's not driving, and then smoke comes out of it. Like I swear, production had like a remote control where they could just click the engine off on those damn things. They're like, oh, we're stuck. And it's like, it's not stuck. The tires aren't even spinning. Like, I don't know. They seem kind of rigged.
Yeah. I mean, some I believed, like, I don't remember who, but they ran right into the fucking wall,
Oh yeah.
and it was like up on just on 3 tires or something like that. I'm like, that's clearly busted. But yeah, some were a little iffy. Um, so it's just ridiculous here. Danny, he's like, I drive Kiki around. Okay. Holy
Because
shit.
she's a bad
Look,
driver, but I'm the best
no,
driver. Ask Kiki.
but like Danny, what people drive? I could have said I drive anyone around. Jesus, you're your own man, Danny. Was Danny married or with Kiki on his season of Survivor?
I don't ever recall him talking about his wife on
I
Survivor.
want to check out that season because I need to know the real Danny before he got his balls lopped off. Holy shit.
No, Danny is the best. Okay, I'll tell you who Danny is. Danny is like one of the co-leaders of his alliance. It was him and this other guy. And basically, if anybody has a problem, like Danny will cheer you up. He'll put you back in a good mood. If you're worried, you got anxiety, Danny's there. He's going to take care of everything.
Sounds like a wonderful man. Unfortunately,
Yes.
we don't see any of that on the season. He's just a mouthpiece. He's propaganda for his
Well,
wife.
that's because they never showed Danny having conversations with people. It's just him in a confessional talking to the camera. Like that's the only time he talks. Like I want to see him talking with other people in the house. But we
You
never
know,
see
it'd be
it.
funny if like after seasons. Oh my god, we got to wrap this up soon. Someone will say like they gave me a terrible edit. They made me look like an asshole. You know what I mean? Like some people will say that.
Yeah.
What if Danny? He's like, after the season's over, he's like, I talked about so many things. But some
Yeah.
fucking producer thought it'd be great if I just talked about my wife the entire time. I talk shit. I talk mad shit about everyone in the house. I was a little bitch, gossipy hoe. But it was all cut just to make me look like I'm just like this dutiful husband.
Oh,
I don't
for
know.
sure. Because the producers got him in front of the camera and they're like, hey, we need like 10 minutes of you just talking about your wife and like how you're a family man and how you love her. He's like, okay. And they took that 10 minutes and they're just splitting it up over the entire season. And it's the only thing he's going to talk about.
Alyssa and Leo are going to go automatically into elimination. That really does suck. Yeah, because he already tried to leave or whatever, right? Dominic and Kayla win because they're the last car to keep driving. I mentioned this outside of recording. I was like, Dominic annoys me. But you're like, dude, he was so good on his Survivor thing.
Yeah.
And we kind of concluded that now that he's comfortable, he's gained like 30 pounds. He's soft and he's got that soft underbelly. He's basically Baratheon. What's it? Robert Baratheon.
Yeah,
After
exactly.
the fact, you know what I mean?
Like when Dominic is like facing struggle and starvation, that's when he's at his best. But like now, when he's just like sleeping in a soft bed and getting catering, like he sucks. I don't know. He doesn't seem like the same Dominic to me. Like Tyson is the same Tyson. Sarah is the same Sarah. Ben, we don't see barely Ben at all, so it's hard to even say. He's the same guy, but just with no screen time. But Dominic is just weird to me.
Let's move on to the deliberation where Dominic and Kayla talk to Leo and Alyssa. And I think Alyssa, they don't want to mention any names. So again, this whole segment is pointless. I don't even know why we're bringing it up. We only have so much time, right?
3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Oh my God. Kyland does not talk game with me. That's Kayla's main thing, where she's like, Kyland, when he wins, when someone wins, he goes around and makes the rounds, right?
Yep.
She's like, he's never done that with me. Even though I just won, he still hasn't talked game with me. And I can agree that that's a fine motive to put someone in, because Kyland is very good.
Yeah. You're not in a circle of trust.
Okay, so Dominic, though, he wanted to get revenge because Angela put him in, right? And this is when Angela actually goes up to them and says, if I win and you guys have a partner that wants to go in to get money, I will not allow that to happen. Like, Angela she truly believes she's going in. So she starts finally schmoozing, what was it called? Schmoozing,
yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny to see Angela in sort of panic mode, where now she's like gonna get all gussied up and try and sell him some oil.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tyson isn't leaving Sarah's side because he's like, she's gonna go and ask to be thrown in. So he's just like next to Sarah the entire time.
She goes to walk in the other room to get coffee. He's like, oh, let's go get some coffee. I'll have some coffee too.
Yeah, he's like a boyfriend or a girlfriend that just know their partner's cheating on them, so they're just like, I'm just gonna be here the whole time. Oh, who's on that phone?
Yeah. Who are you talking to?
Let's talk about the elimination with 1:20 left. Ball and chain, 6 panels, trivia questions, medicine balls weighing 20 pounds. Leo and Alyssa defeat Kyland and Kyra. Sick Kyra. Let's mention that.
Yeah, Kyra gassed out. She was not very strong. She's not feeling well. Alyssa was impressive.
She was a gymnast and a cheerleader.
Yeah. And it also helped that both of these women in this elimination weigh like 115 pounds. Like, they're tiny little girls. Like, what if you had like a normal built person on top of like Leo's back? Like, Leo's not a super big guy, strong guy. But thank God he had a absolutely scrawny partner to stand on his back. Right.
And so they end up winning, Leo and Alyssa. TJ's like, I'm tired of the algorithm because, you guys already figured it out. It was bullshit. So now we're just going to abandon it and stuff like that. But that was the end of the episode. Like, subscribe, comment. This was Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud.
And Famous Dave.
Let it run.
We did it. I think we got like another 10 seconds. Anything else you'd like?